Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Deutschland.
There will be lots of drama, that is for sure. The gloves are off.
Jetzt aber Attacke da vorne. Da musst du alles auf den Punkt bringen.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, da geht einer massiv fliegen.
What an amazing move!
Gibt's schöneren Rennsport?
After a sensational opener to the season at Imola over the Easter weekend, Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany now heads to the Ardennes roller coaster. One of the absolute highlights of the season for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany for the first of two races this weekend. Hello everybody, welcome to a glorious sunny Spa-Francorchamps, air conditions. Air temperature is 17.6 degrees centigrade, which means it is absolutely perfect to go racing here. We're part of the World Endurance Championship package this weekend, and it is once again a packed grid of cars that line up here on this circuit, which is 7 kilometers, just a fraction over 7 kilometers around, with 19 turns, 10 to the left and 9 to the right. It is an historic circuit, and we have been looking forward to this for a long time. Alessandro Gueretti is the man who stole the headlines in what was a really dramatic qualifying session this morning. It was dramatic. The headlines were being made in the early hours of this morning when we got here to this circuit, because championship leader Robert De Haan exceeded track limits, had 2 of his laps disallowed, and after that phenomenal start to the season at Imola, where he won both races from pole position, starts this race from the absolute back. It has been a lockout for Schumacher CLRT. The two cars are very, very dialed in qualifying, in free practice today. Alessandro Gueretti with his first ever pole position in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. His best result at Imola last time out was a 4th place, but now the reigning champion of Porsche Carrera Cup France and Porsche Carrera Cup Asia has an opportunity to become a winner in this legendary series that is in its 36th season. He's on that pole position, and he has his teammate Flint Schuring alongside him in the other of the Schumacher CLRT cars. It is set to be a very exciting race, because you saw a quick look there at Theo Overhaus, the new Porsche Junior for 2025, who lines up 3rd on the grid, and he will be a force to be reckoned with. But another headline in quali this morning, what a sensational job from Sascha Norden. He is starting in 4th place in this race. I will remind you, he is a rookie. He is a driver that came from Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. He's making his debut in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany this year. He had a good time at Imola a couple of weeks back with 2 14th places, but starting from the 2nd row of the grid is in a very strong position. He is the joint leader of the Rookie Championship, and he has Matheus Ferreira as his main rival. Both of them are leading the Rookie Championship with 45 points from Joe Warhurst, who has 29 points, but both of Sascha Norden's main rivals are a long way back down the pack. Matheus Ferreira attracting the attention of the stewards following what they perceive to be a dangerous maneuver in qualifying. They've demoted him 3 places on the grid. He's all the way back in 22nd place. Alongside Matheus Ferreira is Joe Warhurst in 23rd place. That means that Sascha Norden, in his quest for the championship lead in the Rookie Championship, is in a very strong position. Our pole sitter for the Pro-Ams is Michael Schrei, up in 15th place. So a really solid job from him as well. You'll hear that the engines are already running, and we are getting ready at this circuit that has a far longer lap than we see at any other circuits on the calendar, and there at the back of the grid with it all to do. This is truly a test for Robert De Haan. He was looking calm and laid back and ready for anything at Imola. He led both races and won them from pole position, but this is going to be a real test for Robert De Haan, as he will have to fight his way through the pack, as he will want to try and defend the championship lead in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. The noise here at Spa-Francorchamps is absolutely deafening as the cars now start on their formation lap, and this is a long lap, so an opportunity to get heat into the tyres and into the brakes as we look at the cars just heading round La Source, which is turn 1 of the circuit. The roar is absolutely deafening. Let's have a look at that starting grid. It's Alessandro Gueretti on pole position, Flint Schuring alongside Theo Erlaus and Sasha Norden behind them. Then it is Ariel Levy and Marvin Klein and Senna van Serlen ahead of Huub van Eindhoven, Cas Havercourt, Mikkel Azkena. What a great qualifying from him. Dirk Schouten, he's going to have a lot of fans here who are supporting him, the reigning champion in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux, guesting here this weekend. You see the rest of the cars, just the grid just scrolling through, and you can see there at the back with all the work to do, Robert De Haan, another very quick driver who had traumas in quali this morning. He had problems in free practice yesterday, and that's Alex Tauscher. Alex, who had brake issues in free practice yesterday, then had a lap disallowed this morning. A number of drivers a little bit out of position on this grid. There was a red flag that came out in qualifying this morning for a number of things, amongst them Michael Schrei, who had come to a stop out on the circuit, and it meant a lot of drivers who were on their push lap were unable to complete those laps and are therefore a little way out of position on the grid. So this is going to be a really interesting race. Now, while the cars are just forming up and getting into position, I have two words that are going to make everybody who's watching clutch their foreheads, and those words are track limits, because they have been a massive issue here. In practice, free practice yesterday, we had well over 200 track limits warnings. The stewards have been very, very strict, and it's something that is often discussed here, why the drivers are allowed to go over the white lines, why they're allowed to exceed track limits. Well, let me tell you, they are not. In qualifying this morning, we saw so many drivers incurring the wrath of the stewards with track limits, and they have been getting involved, and I get a feeling it may well be an issue here in this race this afternoon. So in quali and in free practice, the track limits kept popping up as we look down at the legendary bus stop chicane, as the cars now, having completed their formation lap, head towards the grid, and very, very shortly we will be getting ready to get underway for this race 3 of a 16 race season. There is a race today and a race tomorrow morning. A big crowd here. Is going to be an even bigger crowd tomorrow, who will be entertained by Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. You can see them all packed in. I believe this is a working day in Belgium, would you? A lot of people taking a day's holiday to come here and enjoy the Ardennes sunshine as these cars form up on the grid. They are show stealers wherever they go. And now, already onto that pole position with the heat into the tyres and into the brakes, Alessandro Gueretti with his compatriot Flint Schuring alongside him, and they'll be waiting for the rest of the field to form up, and that's a great view there as we look towards what is about a 250-260 metre sprint towards turn 1, the last source. So it's a really short run into that first corner, then the heavy braking, and it's often the scene of many incidents into La Source. Right, finally, Alex Tauscher, Robert De Haan, Kai Pfister into position. We have clearance. The forest of Ardennes is about to echo with the sound of Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, and a great start from Alessandro Gueretti in towards turn 1. Right, this is going to be critical. Can Flint Sherrin do anything around the outside? Everybody needs to get around this first tricky corner. It looks as though everybody has done now. The most feared section of racetrack in the world. It is Eau Rouge up to Radion. Absolutely flat out. A real gradient up the hill, negative Gs. Now there's somebody that went off very wide in towards the Kemmel Straight, but look at that lead from Alessandro Gueretti already, and a challenge for second position. That's Theo Overhaus to the inside of Flint Sherring. Flint Sherring has it covered up, but look at Sasha Norden around the outside of the Porsche Junior, now to the inside out of Les Combes and towards the rest of the circuit. But what a lead. Alessandro Gueretti, and now into second place, Theo Overhaus, the Porsche Junior, squeezing past Flint Sherring and into that second place. So really feisty stuff on the opening lap of this race. It is a race that is, oh, there's a car that's gone wide. That looks like Senna Van Serlen going very wide onto the grass. He rejoins. There's Dirk Schuiten there as well. He'll have a massive legion of fans who will be cheering the purple and gold car, making a guest appearance here. His debut in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. A competitive field, the most competitive field that we can remember. Keanu Blum going wide there as well, but Theo Overhaus up into that second place. I've got one eye on my timing screen because you get the feeling track limits will be an issue. The race director may be a bit forgiving on this first lap, but after this lap, track limits will be enforced. Colin Bernighausen in the number 55 car, looking eager as well as he looks for position. So the car's coming round. There's a challenge between two of the target competition cars behind as well. So the incident involving Senna Van Serlen has been noted. That's Jan Seifert who's making a move on his teammate. But here comes our race leader. So they've all made it round at the first lap. There's Janis Stiak into the bus stop. Once again, Gianluca Tucciaroglu. And there's contact. Gianluca Tucciaroglu getting into Jan Seifert, also getting involved. That looks like Michael Schrei, Zoran Spreng as well, the reigning Pro-Am champion. This may well bring out a safety car. So the lead that Alessandro Gueretti has built up, a monstrous 1.2 seconds into last source. Alex Tauscher fighting his way forward. So we've got one eye on what is happening. Dehaan and Tauscher up to, well, Dehaan is up to 22nd place. So Joe Warhurst challenging on the outside up to Eau Rouge. This is brave stuff going wide out of the corner. So here come the rest of the field. So the fighting for position continuing up and down the pack. Along they come once again into Les Combes, and that'll head down to Malmedy. So I think we're going to get a safety car. We're almost certainly going to get one, I would have thought, because that instant. There's Robert Dehaan, there's Joe Warhurst, also in there Daniel Gregor, another driver who had a really challenging time in quali this morning. The dust goes shooting up into the air. So Robert Dehaan up into 20th place. Alex Tauscher ahead of him in the number 13 car. They're fighting their way from the very back of the pack, going out wide onto the dirt once again. This is how hard these drivers are pushing. This is a short, sharp race, 26 minutes, and there is Michael Schrei stranded on the track. This is almost certainly, well, it's got to bring out a safety car, and that was Jan Seifert, who'd been looking pretty feisty going into that corner, but Schrei is stuck on the circuit. So I'm expecting to get, and here we go, safety car is indeed out. So the cars will now be asked to reduce their speed. The safety car will come onto the track and we will have an opportunity to take stock. That lead that Alessandro Gueretti had of 1.3 seconds will be to nothing. So you see Sasha Norden ducking across to the inside. We can tell what line he wanted into La Source, can't we? The rest of the cars running 3 and 4 abreast. They made it around that first turn, but then it was all going to fall apart later on. So that was the sprint race between the two Schumacher CLRT cars into turn 1. There was Ariel Levy going quite deep into the corner, then out of La Source, and then the downhill sections. Another view here there. And Norden really saw that gap on the inside towards turn 1. He ducked across in the number 21 car. and took that inside line into the corner. You get the feeling that Sasha Norden had planned this for a long time. You just saw Zurich Spreng having a lively one as well. Now Robert de Haan, very, very quick out of the blocks. Ahmed Al-Khoury, not so. He was quite slow away in the 69 car, but Robert de Haan looking to make up those positions into the opening laps of the race. And that was Alejandro Gueretti and Theo Overhaus and Flint Schering all fighting for those podium positions, as Sasha Norden was fancying a little move on Flint Schering somewhere along the way as well. That's a great view out of Radion. So looking there, Senna Van Serlen, well, that would have been a Code Brown moment as he went onto the grass, rejoining, giving Dirk Schuiten something to think about, as well as that car rejoined on the track. There's another view of it going out wide onto the gravel. You've got to be pretty brave to keep your foot on it when you're running on the grass at that section of the track. And I have to say, well, that is where Seyfert got turned around. You see Zurich Spreng, Robert de Haan did well to stay out of trouble there. And there is another view of this. This is coming into the bus stop once again. And there, just looking like a little tap from Gianluca Tucciaroglu in the pink and white car. And that left the target car of Jan Seyfert across the track, and that brought out the safety car. So if you're new to Porsche Carrera Cup racing, you'll know that this is a short, sharp sprint race. It is an explosion of energy, 30 minutes plus 1 lap of racing. So the safety car out on track at the moment, and there is the debris being removed out of the bus stop. Well done, that man, for doing that. The Orange Army doing a fantastic, well, not so Orange Army, doing a fantastic job here at Spa-Francorchamps. So let's have a look here at what's been happening. Alex Tauscher, well, eyes were on championship leader Robert de Haan, but Alex Tauscher, well, have a moment there. He's made up 12 positions, up to 19th place. The driver who has got a renewed vigour in 2025. He is the championship leader in Porsche Carrera Cup Italia, as we see Jan Seyfert just walking off. He'll come back and do it all again tomorrow. But Alex Tauscher in Porsche Carrera Cup Italia won both races last weekend. And if you were watching the second race, and you would have seen the audacious move that he made into the first couple of corners around the outside to take the lead, you will know that Alex Tauscher is an absolute force to be reckoned with and an absolute championship favourite coming into 2025 in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. So you get the feeling that he will be a challenger all season long. He's currently in 4th place, in joint 4th place with Flint Schering. De Haan leads the championship. Marvin Klein in 2nd place with 27 points. He's had a fairly quiet qualifying by his standards. He's in 6th place at the moment, so in a good position to pick up the points. And certainly ahead of championship leader Robert de Haan. And Theo Overhaus, 3rd place in the championship with 26 points. So he's in a very strong position. In 2nd place at the moment. Has he got anything for Alejandro Gueretti? You'll see from the graphic on your screen that he does hold the fastest lap of the race. So he does have something that he can potentially bring to the table. Alessandro Gueretti with that big lead before the safety car come out. That lead has now disappeared, and he will have Theo Overhaus on his back bumper. So we're around for another lap behind the safety car. I get the feeling that maybe next time around the lights will be off on the safety car and we will be back under green flag conditions, approaching the 1/3 distance of this first of 2 races this weekend at Spa-Francorchamps here in the Ardennes Forest in Belgium. I'm just looking to see if there's been any issues at all from race directors. They say that they are investigating that incident. Well, there's no surprise there. Michael Schrei, Gianluca Tucciaroglu and Jan Seyfert. So they, right, I think that, I thought I saw a quick message. Safety car, yes, in on this lap. So safety car in on this lap. So in a moment, the lights will go off on that car. And Alejandro Gueretti, the reigning champion of Porsche Carrera Cup France and of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia, and of course the Porsche Junior for the second year running, making his debut this year in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, arguably the toughest single make series in the world, and to come here and to lead the way, showing what he's worth. But he has a fellow Porsche Junior. There are two Porsche Juniors this year, and they are first and second in this race. That says a lot about the selection process for Porsche Juniors, and says that what they're doing is absolutely right. Our leader in the rookies is Sasha Norden, looking very racy in that fourth place. Dirk Schouten, second in the rookies. Our leader in the Pro-Ams, well, all that has been going on, was Ahmed Al-Shihab. Of course, we saw Michael Schrei in dramas earlier on because of this incident. And so Ahmed Al-Shihab is now the race leader in the Pro-Am race. We have the rookies. They are signified by the yellow on their numbers and the Pro-Ams with the blue on their numbers. Right, safety car has disappeared off into the distance as we head towards the bus stop chicane in a moment. In fact, we're up at Blanchimont at the moment. Alessandro Giuretti has backed the field up, and he will decide when to go. So he's backed them up quite early, and it looks like he's on the accelerator quite early as well. But we now back to green flag racing. The safety car will be long gone. Right, now into the bus stop we come. So into the right-hander, into the left, and that's another spinner. That's Flint Schuring who's gone around, and another car as well. Flint Schuring, who has spun into the bus stop. We'll need to see a replay to see what happened, but one of the absolute favourites in the championship, Flint Schuring, and now Alessandro Giuretti with Theo Overhaus monstering him all the way, but Flint Schuring going spinning. This is very significant. He was fourth in the championship. Coming into this race, there's a target car going wide in the background. Is that Sebastian Freimuth? I'm not entirely sure. Can't see that. No, it's Alex Tauscher who's going wide out of turn one, out of La Source, as we head towards Radion, up Eau Rouge once again. Giuretti has Theo Overhaus covered off at the moment. Keep an eye on Daniel Gregor, another driver who had a difficult time in quali this morning. He's in 19th place. He's looking to push his way forwards. We head now into Le Combe, the chicane, and then down to Malmedy. The cars once again all fighting for position, and of course in the early stages after a safety car, a good opportunity to try and jump another car because we're all close together. So Alessandro Giuretti with about half a second over Theo Overhaus at the moment. Ariel Levy just quietly getting on with it. He's just been there or thereabouts in all the sessions this weekend, the Israeli driver, just there, just ready to pounce, keeping out of trouble. He's just 1.8 seconds back in that third place. Sasha Norden still leading the way in the rookies. Huub van Eindhoven in fifth place, Cas Havercourt. Mikkel Azkana in 7th place for Hadeca Racing as Robert Dehaan moves past Gianluca Tucharoglu. Gianluca in the number 91 car in 14th place, now in 15th place. Having a bit of coaching from Jan-Erik Sloten, who used to race in the Pro-Ams here in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. And there is Sebastian Freimuth in the 32 car. He's a little way back in 10th place, but a good solid job for him. Kiana Bloom there as well, up challenging in the top 10, but Colin Berninghausen, we're getting used to this with Colin Berninghausen. Doesn't always qualify well, but is a real fighter that comes through the pack, always fighting his way. But talking of coming through the pack, that's Robert Dehaan. So championship leader Robert Dehaan, now with Kiana Bloom also going deep. Janis Stiak didn't have anything he could bring to the number 46 car, going wide out of the bus stop and across the white line now towards La Source, turn one, on the inside of Kiana Bloom. So Robert Dehaan continuing to pick the places off one by one. He's ahead of that pack. Ahead of him is Colin Berninghausen. Now out towards Radion once again. Colin Berninghausen in 11th. Robert Dehaan in 12th from the very back of the pack. Tauscher's progress now down to 19th as a result of that wild moment out of La Source. So along the Kemmel Straight we come once again. So crowded field of cars. We're at the halfway point of this race. Alex Tauscher once again pushing forwards, going past the car that is leading in the Pro-Am category, the number 84 car, the red and black car with Ahmed Al-Shihab at the wheel. He's the leader in the Pro-Ams. Alex Tauscher, Matheus Ferreira in 20th place behind them. Here comes our race leader, Alessandro Gueretti. He's not opened up as big a gap now, if there is, as he had before the safety car came out. Other cars going wide. Gueretti, 0.7 of a second. Now, the incident between Robert De Haan and Keanu Bloom has been noted. This could be significant at the end of this race. Sasha Norden in 4th place, Huub van Eindhoven just behind him. The two drivers from the Netherlands have raced against each other in various championships over the years. Behind them is Cas Havercourt in the 24 car, the very impressive Mikkel Azkena in 7th place. For Mikkel Azkena, this is his 2nd ever weekend in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Of course, he is a former World Touring Car champion, but of course a front-wheel drive touring car is very, very different to one of these beasts. The Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, once again, as we look down at the bus stop. Here's our race leader in the gold and black car, Alessandro Gueretti. 2nd place, 1 second behind, so Erverhaus looks to have the measure. Right, Matheus Ferreira makes a move on Ahmed Al-Shihab. Al-Shihab does not need to get into this battle. He is in the Pro-Am race. He's in 20th overall, but he's interested in Kai Pfister, who's guesting this weekend. Michael Esman, who we haven't even mentioned yet, the championship leader in the Pro-Am categories. Yet another position is picked off by Robert De Haan. And 3rd in the, Michael Esman is 3rd. Then 4th is Sam Shaheen, our reigning champion in the Pro-Am category. Yet another torrid race for Søren Spreng. He's down in 29th place, and he's in 5th place in the Pro-Am category. 12.5 minutes remaining. Gueretti looks to have this under control at the moment. The Schumacher CLRT car has looked so dialed in all weekend long since their free practice and in qualifying, and not a lot of people have been able to get anywhere near it. Right, no further action for the incident between Keanu Bloom and Robert De Haan. So the stewards have taken a look at it and are saying no further action. So De Haan continues his march from the absolute back of the pack. I saw him this morning and I said, you got a lot of work to do, and he just said one word to me. He said, Hockenheim. And of course, we remember last year in Hockenheim when he fought his way through the pack, and here he's doing it again. It's becoming a bit of a trademark for the championship leader. Now ahead of him, Sebastian Freimuth. So from the very back of the pack, with less than 20 minutes of this race gone, and he's already troubling the top 10. Colin Berninghausen looking racing behind, a lock-up for Sebastian Freimuth, nose to the inside, so Robert De Haan muscling his way forwards, and De Haan through another place. Colin Berninghausen just behind him as well, very impressive in the 55 car. Behind them is Keanu Bloom. Now, Sebastian Freimuth, he's not exactly giving up, is he? Freimuth fighting back, and suddenly Robert De Haan with Colin Berninghausen for company. De Haan needing to keep his head as they head into the bus stop once again. Freimuth doing a sterling job, just defending that position. A track limits warning has been given to Joe Warhurst. Now the drag race out towards last source, turn 1, side by side. De Haan's going to have the inside line, under braking they come. De Haan is going to have the line here. Can Freimuth keep the power on round the outside? De Haan goes to shut the door, but Colin Berninghausen sees the gap as well. Now the drag race is Sebastian Freimuth, Colin Berninghausen. It takes so much courage to keep your foot planted on the accelerator as you head along Eau Rouge, Radion, up over the blind crest. The car's getting a bit of air. Keanu Bloom in there as well, now fighting behind Janis Stiak, who's been relatively quiet in that 14th place, but now starting to turn the wick up as well. Fighting with Keanu Bloom in the green and yellow car, heading along the Kemmel Straight once again towards Lacombe. And Keanu Bloom defending for all he's worth. Also in the background, Gianluca Tucciaroglu. had a tough qualifying session, but coming back from that, Gianluca Tucciaroglu in the 15th place. Behind them is Great Britain's Joe Warhurst. Daniel Gregor also making good progress. So Warhurst almost into the points overall, but in a rookie position in the rookie race. The leading rookie is Sasha Norden as Colin Berdinghausen goes wide out of the corner. The dust rising up into the air. Gianluca Tucciaroglu trying to take advantage while his tyres are dirty. Doesn't find a route through on this occasion. Carter Bloom driving very well, and 12th place, Janis Stiak still behind him at the moment. Right, our race leader has broken clear, 1.87 seconds. I think Theo Overhaus may have had a bit of a moment. Ariel Levy has now closed in on Theo Overhaus. I'm wondering whether Overhaus has had a bit of a wild ride on that previous lap, because the Israeli Ariel Levy is going to be challenging for that second place. He's about 4 tenths back. Sasha Norden leading the way in the rookies. Second in the rookies, Dirk Schuiten, 9th place overall. To remind you, this is the debut for Dirk Schuiten in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. He won the Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux Championship. He won his first ever Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux race here at Spa-Francorchamps this time last year. Third in the rookies, looking for his first rookie podium, is Joe Warhurst in 16th overall. Colin Berdinghausen challenging Kiana Bloom. Kiana Bloom goes to the runoff area. Janis Stiak taking a very wide line out onto the pit straight towards turn 1. They come once again. The stewards now starting to issue the track limit warnings to Kiana Bloom. Track limit warnings. Gianluca Tucciaroglu, track limit warning. And I think it was Colin Berdinghausen. It says car 56. I think it's meant to be car 55. So I think all of them have had warnings for track limits from our race director. Mikko Askinen also with a warning. Theo Overhaus looking vulnerable in that second place. Time is running out here in race 3 of the season for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. And Theo Overhaus still holds on to that second place at the moment. But Ariel Levy looking very rapid and very eager. Daniel Gregor also challenging Alex Tauscher. This is for 17th place. Alex Tauscher there in a sandwich is Daniel Gregor. A target competition sandwich. Daniel Gregor in the middle of that in 18th place. He is in 4th place in the rookies. He had a tough time yesterday in free practice, and he had mechanical issues in quali this morning, and he really sees this race as a bit of damage limitation, trying to pick up points in the rookie championship. Look at this for second place. Theo Overhaus, Ariel Levy, another of the drivers who just keeps taking steps forwards weekend by weekend, now looking very eager as he challenges for that second place. There's Kiana Bloom, 12th place at the moment. Kiana Bloom, a good solid drive, but a little lock up there. That's going to leave him a little bit vulnerable to Janis Stiak. He gathers it all up. Kiana Bloom's best result so far was a 9th place at Hockenheim last year, but a 12th place, a solid drive from the driver from Austria. Part of the talent pool, a wonderful initiative from Porsche to encourage and nurture young talent in Porsche Cup racing. As Ariel Levy, the smoke goes rising as he challenges Theo Overhaus. I'm told that when you're challenging the car in front closely, you can't see the white lines of the track limits. So track limits can become an issue if you are following the car in front closely. At the moment, Ariel Levy needs to keep it between the white lines. Yet more black and white flags are being shown for track limits. Mikko Askinen was the last one to get it at the moment, though. The stewards continue to look on. We continue to look on at the fight for second place, and while Theo Overhaus is having to defend so hard from Ariel Levy, Alessandro Gueretti is able to break clear at the front. 3.33 is the gap between first and second. Daniel Gregor taking a very wide line at the top of Radion. So Robert Dehaan challenging as well. Right, let's have another look here. Daniel Gregor, Matheus Ferreira. This is into Eau Rouge across the rumble strips, and a brave move there. Daniel Gregor switches to the outside. Matheus Ferreira fighting for that position with 5 minutes remaining. Gregor taking a wide line out onto the dirt. Matthias Ferreira making his debut this season. There is Flint Schuring fighting his way back. We saw that moment at the bus stop at the start of the race. Flint Schuring did not anticipate that he'd be fighting over 20th place when he got out of bed this morning. Less than 5 minutes plus 1 lap remaining of this race. It's Alessandro Gueretti that leads the way, 3.4 seconds clear. Has Ariel Levy got anything else that he can bring to the table to get past Theo Overhaus? In the background, Sasha Norden, the leader of the rookies, Huub van Eindhoven, Cas Havercourt, Mikkel Askiner in the top 7. Senna van Serlen, then is Dirk Schouten, second in the rookies. There is Joe Warhurst in the Cap C coating, Proton Hubert competition, Porsche. There is Colin Berninghausen in 14th place. All looking for every last point. So Warhurst, good for a podium in the rookies. In the Pro-Am races, Ahmed Al-Shihab, who leads the way. Mikael Esman, after a tough qualifying this morning, the championship leader, in second in the Pro-Ams as Robert De Haan continues to pick off the places, now up into 9th place from the very back of the pack. So Robert De Haan continuing his charge forwards as he moves past Dirk Schouten. Next up the road for Robert De Haan is Senna van Serlen. Alex Tauscher into 16th place, so not enjoying as much advantage as Robert De Haan has now. Ariel Levy has picked up a warning for track limits, also a warning for Jonas Greif, also a warning for Daniel Gregor, and a warning for Janis Stiak. There may well be penalties incoming in this race as we look down at the Les Combes at the end of the Kemmel Straight, and Sasha Norden challenging for a podium position in the overall race. Sasha Norden, the leading rookie, challenging Ariel Levy for that 3rd place. That's allowed Theo Overhaus to break clear. Sasha Norden, Huub van Eindhoven, Cas Havercourt as well, but Norden locks up the brake. He goes deep into the corner. That's going to allow Huub van Eindhoven and Cas Havercourt through, and he is going to be kicking himself. A little mistake there from Sasha Norden. He's lost 2 places, but he's still leading the way in the rookie race. He challenged for that 2nd place. He didn't quite make it stick. We had the lock up into the corner, and Huub van Eindhoven and Cas Havercourt, the 2 drivers for Team GP Elite, did not need another invitation. It was that moment, a lock up from Norden. Did well to keep it out of the back of the Ariel Levy car. It's Christoph Huber, and he is the team boss at Proton Hubert competition, along with Christian Reed. And for a moment, he thought it was going to be a 2nd place, but now he drops back Sasha Norden to 6th place. Still a solid job. Sasha Norden, who is coached by the outgoing Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany champion Larry Tenforder of the Larry Tenforder Driving Academy, does a sterling job, and his involvement with Sasha Norden and with Flint Schuring has seen both drivers transformed as they've got coaching from the legendary driver. But Ariel Levy in that 3rd place now, with a different Dutchman breathing down his neck, and that's in the shape of Huub van Eindhoven, as Robert De Haan once again picks off the places. What a phenomenal job. Up to 8th place. He started 30th on the grid, and he's made it up to 8th place. He had a calm confidence about him when I spoke to him prior to this race. As Emilie de Hoos picks up a warning for track limits. There's a big list of track limit warnings on my timing screen. I haven't seen any penalties issued yet, but there may well be some to come. We're into the final minute of timed racing, and here comes Robert De Haan once again onto the Kemmel Straight. There is Emilie de Hoos, the only female driver in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, and great to have her here, part of the talent pool. Out of turn 1, La Source, down to Eau Rouge, up the hill to Raidillon, a steep, steep climb. The TV pictures flatten it out. It is a massive climb. The gradient change around this circuit is greater than the height of Big Ben in the UK. There's a useless statistic if you ever needed one. A lot of gradient change here. I ran the circuit last night. I have to tell you, Eau Rouge to Radion is a massive climb. There is second place, Theo Overhaus, 4.8 seconds. So Alessandro Gueretti with this under control. The clock has struck 0, so it will be what remains of this lap. They're up at campus at the moment, or Stavelot, I believe. It'll be what remains of this lap, and then one more for Alessandro Gueretti, Theo Overhaus, Ariel Levy in that third place, having withheld the challenge from Sasha Norden, down into 6th, but still leading the way in the rookies. Joe Warhurst in 3rd, Dirk Schuten in 2nd, 4th in the rookies, Mateus Ferreira in 20th overall, with Daniel Gregor for company, and leading in the Pro-Ams, Ahmed Al-Shihab and Mikael Esmond. So this will be the last lap of the race for Alessandro Gueretti. A track warning limit for Colin Bernighausen. That's the next one to attract the attention of the stewards. So we're on to the final lap of the race. Just 7 kilometers between here and a first ever win in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany for Alessandro Gueretti. Theo Overhaus not enjoying the kind of pace that he needs, some 5.5 seconds back. Ariel Levy looking for a possible podium for the Israeli driver. Huban Eindhoven, Cas Havercourt behind him. Our focus there on Kiana Blum in 12th place. Behind him, Janis Stiak in the number 40 car, and Colin Bernighausen there, and Gianluca Tucciaroglu into the point, so into 15th place. So good progress from him. Alex Tauscher up to 16th place from the back of the pack. And talking of that, Robert De Haan, he's in that 8th place. He's about half a second back from Mikkel Azkena, so he might yet make more progress. We will see as this final lap completes. So one last climb up to Radion. Kai Pfister guesting here. Sam Shaheen, driver that does a 30-hour commute from Australia to come and race in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. Never makes excuses, never blames anything other than himself. Great driver and a real character. Currently in 26th place. And a really welcome addition to the ranks of Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. There is the very impressive Mikkel Azkena. There is the equally impressive Robert De Haan, championship leader from the back of the pack. Now fighting for 7th place, but time is starting to run out. We are on the final lap of this race. Our race leader is currently up at Blanchimont and heading his way towards the bus stop chicane for the very, very last time. Well cleared Theo Overhaus. Alessandro Gueretti, the Porsche Junior for the 2nd year, now getting ready as he heads in to the bus stop chicane. He'll move out onto the pit straight and he'll see the checkered flag ahead of him. It's a first ever win for Alessandro Gueretti in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. 2nd place to Theo Overhaus, a solid 20 points for him. A great job from Ariel Levy through to 3rd place. Ahead of Huban Eindhoven, Cas Havercourt. Sasha Norden wins in the rookie race. Was so close to getting a podium in the overall race as they run 3 abreast out of the bus stop. Colin Bernighausen with an exceptionally wide line out towards the flag. The rest of the cars coming across the line. We're still waiting for Ahmed Al-Shihab in the 84 car. Here he comes to win in the Pro-Am race ahead of championship leader Mikael Esmond in the green, white and red car. In the background, Kai Pfister will be the 3rd finisher on the podium in the Pro-Am race ahead of Sam Shaheen. Sam will pick up the points for 3rd place in the Pro-Ams as a result of Kai Pfister being a guest driver. But what a dominant display from Alessandro Gueretti as he wins by 6.7 seconds from Theo Overhaus. The Schumacher CLRT car looking so dialed in. And Ariel Levy in 3rd place. Never let the leader, well, never let 2nd place get away from him, but wasn't able to move up the position. I have to say, though, trier of the day, and what a race from Sasha Norden. Almost making it onto the overall podium, but for that lockup. and he'll learn from that and come back, but he's going to have to be really happy with that, because a really great job from Sasha Norden. He's certainly beaten his best results so far of a couple of 14th places in Imola. And there is from Q8, and we know we have a lot of people watching us in Q8, Ahmed Al-Shahad, who will take the top step of the podium in the Pro-Am race. He was in 3rd place in the championship, 12 points behind coming into this race. Right, let's have another look at some of the highlights. What was a great race, but what a display from Alessandro Gueretti. It was the drag race into turn 1. He beat Flint Schering. Ariel Levy went very deep into La Source. All the cars made it around the first corner, but we were going to have dramas later on, and Robert Dehan already picking up the places as they're headed in towards La Source. The view from Eau Rouge, Radion, a few cars taking a slightly wide line. And there was that wild moment from Senna Van Serlen. If he decides to give up Carrera Cup, I would suggest Rallycross might be a good job as well, because great car control. And there was Dirk Schouten in the purple and gold car guesting, but this was a big moment in the race. It was Jan Seifert that got turned around. Gianluca Tucciaroglu's involved, Michael Schrey, but very significantly as well, Søren Spreng involved, and then Flint Schering also getting turned around and having to fight his way back up through the pack. He was going to do that, but it was only going to be an 18th place, so no points for Flint Schering. Robert Dehan picking off cars one by one. We saw him working his way through. It was a wide line out of the bus stop chicane, out onto the pit straight once again, and out towards La Source, and it was Keanu Blum who had to give way to the young Dutch driver who is a man on a mission this year. Ahmed Al-Shihab just keeping control of the Pro-Am race. There was Mateus Ferreira, who coming into this race was the joint leader in the Rookie Championship, but Sasha Norden will now have taken that away. And he, along with Daniel Gregor, fighting for positions. Dirk Schouten saw Robert Dehan come sailing past. And there was Christoph Huber, who saw Sasha Norden's audacious move come to nothing, but he still took that top step of the rookie race. It was a win for Alessandro Gueretti as he snaked across the line. It was a win for Sasha Norden in the rookie race, and a win for Ahmed Al-Shihab in the Pro-Ams. So the deafening noise now echoes off into the trees of the Ardennes forest. I would say that that is the result, but keep an eye on the socials and the websites, because it is very much subject to confirmation. There were a lot of black and white flags for track limits. We knew that was going to be the case. It always is here, but this year, the race stewards are taking a much firmer stance than perhaps they have done in the past with track limits, and there may well be some penalties incoming. I don't think there's any such issues for Alessandro Gueretti nor Theo Overhaus. I did see one track limit warning for Ariel Levy in 3rd place, but it was just the one warning. So I don't think any of the drivers, certainly in the top 5, didn't look to have any issues. So I reckon, certainly think Alessandro Gueretti looking pretty solid, and there was nothing that flagged up. There was Theo Overhaus. And in the background, you can see just how close Ariel Levy is, and you can see how much air you can get in one of these amazing cars. Brilliant. Brilliant stuff. Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. It just feels as though in 2025 that we have stepped up a gear. And there is Sasha Norden, who won in the rookie race. And that will be his first ever rookie win. It was Mateus Ferreira. Sorry, no, it's his second rookie ring. I beg your pardon, because he won in the rookies at the race opener in Imola. And Mateus Ferreira, who won the second of the rookie races in Imola. So the 14th place is that Sasha Nordum netted him a first and a second in the rookie race. It's not the first ever Pro-Am win for Ahmed Al-Shihab, but certainly the first of this season. Race 3 of the Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup season, and what a race it was. And it was that man in the middle in the black and gold, Alessandro Gueretti. He's had a bit of a quiet confidence about him all weekend long. There's Ariel Levy on the left-hand side, the very popular driver from Israel who brings just such a big crowd of supporters with him. There's Torsten Rucker with his back to us, and he does a phenomenal job. He is the project manager, customer sport for Porsche Deutschland. And Dominic Sitzer, who is also the senior organisers here, there as well. Just shuffling the drivers towards the podium. It's a hot old day here, sweaty day and hard work in the racing. There's Sasha Nordum just in the background as well. So we take another look at the result, but again, I would just say to you, this is all very much subject to confirmation. And how is that? France, Germany, Israel, the Netherlands. That's your 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a very Dutch feel from there on, doesn't it? But this series, which is arguably certainly the toughest Carrera Cup series, the Porsche series in the world, possibly the toughest single make series in the world. It's the one that the drivers want to win. It really puts them in the shop window. And in the shop window here at Spa-Francorchamps, Ariel Levy back on the podium once again. We saw him take his first win at the Hockenheim Ring at the end of last year. Theo Erverhaus, a regular visitor to the podium as well. But to the top step for the first time in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany, it is Alessandro Gueretti.
Félicitations à Alessandro Gueretti, vainqueur de sa première course ici à Spa-Francorchamps. La remise des trophées qui va être effectuée maintenant.
So also on the podium is Maxime Mason, race mechanic for Schumacher CLRT. There is Torsten Rucker presenting the trophy. The project manager of customer sport presenting the third place trophy. Cedric Villati, the event director of the World Endurance Championship, such a great event, presenting the second place trophy to Theo Erverhaus. And there's Torsten once again, who's presenting the winning trophy. For the first time, Alessandro Gueretti wins in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. I guarantee it won't be the last. The Porsche Junior man on a mission. And there is Maxime Mason receiving on behalf of Schumacher CLRT, Eduardo Schumacher and Koen Ledegaard, who are welcome additions. Boy, are they going to be competitive as this season progresses. The drivers pose for the photos. And then anyone who has any sense at all will run for cover, because the celebrations start to conclude race 3 of an enthralling 16-race season for Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany. We get to do it all again tomorrow. It will be race 4, and we will be starting quite early tomorrow. We'll be on air 9:10 local time here in Belgium. And I do hope you'll join us for race 4 of the season. The Schumacher CLRT cars are gonna take a bit of a beating. I think we're gonna actually, I was about to say goodbye, but I think we might get another podium. I'm just waiting to see whether we can get another podium here as well. Of course, we have 3 podiums. We have the overall podium, we have the rookie podium and the Pro-Am podium as well. We don't always have time to show all of them, but hopefully we can get the next ones up if we can. Oh, the anticipation is stifling me. We look down, right, we're on to the Pro-Am, so that looks like Kai Pfister to me, so it must be the Pro-Am. So Kai Pfister, welcome addition as a guest here in Porsche Sixt Carrera Cup Germany this year. There's Michael Essmann, and from Q8, Ahmed Al-Shihab to the top step of the podium. So the Q8 national anthem. Great to hear the Q8 national anthem as the 3rd place trophy presented to Kai Pfister by Cedric Villate. There's Torsten Rucker once again, who oversees this brilliant series which attracts fans wherever it goes, and the winning trophy going to Ahmed Al-Shihab. By my calculations, I think Michael Essmann will have retained his championship lead in the Pro-Ams. Sasha Norden has most certainly jumped to the top of the rookie championship. I think Robert De Haan has done a great job. If you want to call that damage limitation, well, you want to see him when he's on full attack, because his championship lead will look safe after that charge through the field. Right, we've got the celebrations for the Pro-Ams. I'm kind of hoping that we're going to have time to get the rookies onto the podium as well. So, as we look at it, you can see that's La Source, turn 1. So it's about a 265-metre charge from the start-finish line down to that corner. Is there any wonder is the scene of many controversies? And you can see Radion and Eau Rouge and Radion, to put it in the right order, in the background. That steep climb up. Oh, it looks like nothing from here, does it? But trust me, it is a steep climb. Right, here's Joe Warhurst from Great Britain, from Barnsley. Or is it Burnley? Always get mixed up. There is Dirk Schouten. Oh, that will be, a lot of people will be watching this, will be shouting. And there is Sasha Norden. Keep an eye on all 3 of those drivers. I would say champions of the future. I think champions of the present. Joe Warhurst, who was the 2023 Porsche Sprint Challenge Southern Europe GT champion and the 23 Porsche Sprint Challenge Great Britain Pro champion. Dirk Schouten, the reigning Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux champion. And Sasha Norden, the Pro-Am champion in 2023 at Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux as well. So they receive their trophies. And Sasha Norden, bittersweet, he'll be thinking, I might have had 2 trophies out of this one. You can hear in the background the Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux cars are now heading round to the grid. for their first race of the weekend, as the three rookies pose for the photographs. And they will start their celebrations. Dirk Schouten looks like he's chipping out, really, doesn't he? Goaded on by Sasha Norden, they leave the podium, as does Joe Warhurst. And our focus will be tomorrow morning, where we will do it all again. Join us for race 4 of the season, 9:10 local time tomorrow at Spa-Francorchamps.